3分钟精读一本书。今天我们读《红与黑》。It was an ordinary weekend night. As usual, I walked into the library I often visited. Moonlight streamed in through the tall glass windows, casting dappled shadows among the bookshelves. The air was filled with the unique ink fragrance of the paper. I randomly picked out a copy of The Red and the Black. As soon as I opened the pages, a strange wind suddenly blew, and the scene of the library began to distort. When I took another closer look, I found myself in the 19th century French city of Varennes. Before my eyes stands an ancient and simple building with a sign at the entrance that reads Residence of de Renal. I looked down and saw that I was dressed in servant's attire and holding a tray in my hand. At this moment, a young man with a handsome face and sharp eyes hurried past me. It was none other than the protagonist of the novel, Julien Sorel. He walked in a hurry, his brows furrowed, as if he were thinking about something important. I followed him quietly and saw him enter a study where he met Madame de Renal. The subtle atmosphere between the two made me feel the complex and sincere emotions in the novel. I followed Julien through his intrigues and deceptions at the seminary, his indulgence in the upper class of Paris, until he ultimately met a tragic end. When Julien was sent to the Gauliet, my heart was filled with shock and regret. I deeply realized the helplessness of young people in that era under the solidification of social strata, and also understood Stendhal's profound criticism of society through this work. Before I could recover from the world of The Red and the Black, the surrounding scenes changed again. I found myself on a vast and boundless sea with a dilapidated small fishing boat undulating in the waves. An old man with dark skin and wrinkles all over his face on the boat was struggling to pull the fishing net. It was Santiago from The Old Man and the Sea. I hurried forward to help and fought with him against the big fish in the fishing net. The waves kept crashing against the fishing boat and the salty seawater splashed onto his face, but the old man still gritted his teeth tightly and refused to let go. In the contest with the big fish, I felt his indomitable will and his persistent pursuit of victory. Although the big fish was eventually eaten by sharks, leaving only a skeleton, Santiago's words, "A man is not made to be defeated. You can destroy him, but you cannot defeat him," are deeply engraved in my heart. I have come to understand that the tough guy spirit depicted by Hemingway is not merely physical strength, but also an invincible spirit. This attitude of never giving up in the face of difficulties has given me endless strength. Immediately after that, a whirlwind swept over and I was taken to Tara Manor in the southern United States, where the story scenes of Gone with the Wind unfolded before my eyes. At this time, it was the period of the Civil War. The flames of war were raging and the manor was in chaos. I saw Scarlett O'Hara, the strong and stubborn woman, directing the servants to transfer the supplies, with determination and courage revealed in her eyes. As the war advanced, Tara Manor gradually declined, and Scarlett's life also fell into difficulties. But she wasn't defeated. Instead, she tried every possible way to support her family. She has grown from a spoiled young lady into a powerful woman capable of handling things independently. During my time with Scarlett, I witnessed her confusion and persistence in love, her unrealistic fantasies about Ashley, and the complex and passionate emotional entanglement between her and Rhett. When Rhett finally chose to leave and Scarlett said, "After all, tomorrow is a new day," I saw the tenacity in her bones and also felt the belief of never giving up on life conveyed by this work. The scene changed again. I arrived at Thornfield Hall in the UK and stepped into the world of Jane Eyre. In a spacious classroom, I saw Jane Eyre giving a lesson to the students. Her expression was concentrated, and her eyes showed wisdom and determination. After class, I followed her to the garden, where she met Mr. Rochester. The conversation between the two was filled with the collision of ideas. Jane Eyre's spirit of pursuing equality and independence impressed me greatly. When she learned that Rochester already had a wife and resolutely chose to leave, I felt her commitment to dignity. She was unwilling to lose herself in an unequal love. I accompanied Jane Eyre through the hardships of wandering, witnessed her growth in difficult circumstances, and also saw her happiness when she finally met Rochester again. I deeply understood the pursuit of equality, freedom, and true love expressed by Charlotte Bronte through the story by women. Finally, I arrived at the small town of Macondo and stepped into the magical world of 100 Years of Solitude. The story of the Bonilla family unfolds here. I see Jose Arcadio Bonilla and his family establishing Macondo, and I see the family members experiencing love, war, and power struggles on this land. The fantastical scene of the beauty Lamedes ascending to heaven while holding on to the bedsheet, and the solitary figure of Colonel Aureliano Bonilla making the little goldfish, both made me feel the unique magical realism charm of this work. As time went by, the family gradually declined and was eventually wiped out of the earth by the hurricane. I deeply experienced the permanence of loneliness described by Marquez, as well as the cycle of time and the impermanence of fate. I also gained a deeper understanding of the history and culture of Latin America. When I came to my senses from this series of wonderful journeys through the sea of books, I found myself back in that corner of the library, still holding that copy of The Red and the Black in my hand. But at this moment, a huge change occurred in my heart. This night's experience made me no longer just a bystander, but a personal experience of the joys and sorrows, as well as the ups and downs of fate of the characters in these classic masterpieces. I have understood the criticism of social classes in The Red and the Black, experienced the tough guy spirit in The Old Man and the Sea, felt Scarlett's tenacity in Gone with the Wind, comprehended the pursuit of equality and dignity in Jane Eyre, and also appreciated the magic and loneliness in 100 Years of Solitude. These classic masterpieces are like doors leading to different worlds, and behind each door lies boundless wisdom and emotions. They are not merely stories, rather, they are profound reflections on human nature, society, and destiny. In the days to come, I will carry this precious experience with me and continue to roam in the sea of books, exploring more unknown worlds and drawing more spiritual strength. 3分钟精读一本书，今天我们读《简爱》。Jane Eyre is a classic work by the British author Charlotte Bronte. The following is a detailed dissection of this book. Story background: the novel was created in the mid-19th century in Britain. At that time, the social hierarchy was strict, and women were in a subordinate position in society and family, with limited educational and career opportunities. Against this backdrop, the novel explores issues such as women's fate, love, dignity, and self-worth through Jane Eyre's experiences. Character development: Jane Eyre, the protagonist of the novel is a woman with a strong character, independence, and a pursuit of equality and true love. She lost both her parents at a young age and lived with her aunt, enduring the cold stares and bullying from her aunt and cousin. However, she did not sink into despair because of this and always held fast to her beliefs and dignity. At the boarding school, she experienced a hard life and unfair treatment again, but still studied hard and kept growing. After reaching adulthood, Jane Eyre became a governess and fell in love with her employer, Rochester. After discovering that Rochester already had a wife, she resolutely left and wandered alone. Ultimately, Jane Eyre returned to Rochester, who was blind, married him, and lived a happy life. Edward Rochester, the owner of Thornfield Hall, with a melancholic and moody personality. He had experienced an unhappy marriage. His wife, Bertha Mason, was insane and ill-tempered, which plunged his life into pain and despair. Rochester longed for true love and understanding. The appearance of Jane Eyre made him feel the beauty of life again. He had deep feelings for Jane Eyre, but due to his marital status, he was full of contradictions and struggles in the face of love. Helen Burns, Jane Eyre's good friend at the boarding school. She is gentle, kind, and tolerant, and has a deep faith in religion. Although Helen has suffered many hardships, she has always maintained a peaceful state of mind and treated the injustice in life with tolerance and patience. Her thoughts and actions had a profound influence on Jane Eyre, teaching her to maintain inner peace and strength in difficult situations. Plot, structure, childhood, Jane Eyre lost both her parents at a young age and was adopted by her aunt, Mrs. Reed. At her aunt's home, she was bullied by her cousin John and looked down upon by her aunt. Once, Jane Eyre was imprisoned in the Red House by her aunt for resisting John, and this experience left her with a deep psychological trauma. Later, Jane Eyre was sent to Lowood boarding school by her aunt. School life. At Lowood School, Jane Eyre met the kind Miss Temple and her good friend Helen Burns. The living conditions at the school were tough. Mr. Brocklehurst, the headmaster, was a hypocritical and cold-hearted person who often physically punished the students. But with the care and help of Miss Temple, Jane Eyre studied hard and gradually grew into a knowledgeable and thoughtful young man. The death of Helen made Jane Eyre deeply grieved and also made her think more deeply about life and faith. Thornfield Manor, After leaving Lowood School, Jane Eyre became a governess at Thornfield Manor, responsible for teaching Adele, the adopted daughter of the manor owner Rochester. At Thornfield Hall, Jane Eyre gradually developed feelings for Rochester. Rochester often went on trips. After returning, he exchanged ideas with Jane Eyre, and the two were spiritually compatible. However, at their wedding, Jane Eyre discovered that Rochester already had a wife, Bertha Mason, a crazy woman who was hidden by Rochester in the attic of the manor. Jane Eyre couldn't accept this fact and resolutely left Thornfield Hall. Wandering and growing up, Jane Eyre was penniless and met the St. John River siblings during her wandering. St. John was a priest. He took in Jane Eyre and helped her find a job as a rural teacher. Jane Eyre won the respect and affection of the local villagers through her own efforts. St. John thought Jane Eyre was suitable to be the wife of a missionary and proposed to her, but Jane Eyre refused because she knew she did not love St. John. In her heart, she still loved Rochester. Jane Eyre learned that Thornfield Hall was burned down by Bertha Mason's arson, and Rochester also lost his wealth and physical health in the fire, became blind in both eyes, and was disabled in one hand. Jane Eyre returned to Rochester without hesitation, married him, and they lived a happy life together. Theme discussion, female independence and dignity, Jane Eyre has always adhered to her independence and dignity, not relying on anyone. Whether facing bullying from her aunt and cousin, or in the face of Rochester's love, she has never given up her principles. Through her own hard study and work, she achieved financial independence and also won the respect of others. Through Jane Eyre's experiences, the novel emphasizes that women should have an independent personality and dignity and should not be bound by the traditional concepts of society. The concept of equal love, The love story between Jane Eyre and Rochester embodies the concept of equal love. Although Jane Eyre came from a humble background, she believed that love should be based on equality and mutual respect, rather than wealth, status, or appearance. Her love for Rochester was pure and free of any utilitarianism. When she found out that Rochester already had a wife, she chose to leave because she couldn't accept unequal love. This concept of equal love had profound progressive significance in the social background at that time. Religion and humanity. Religious elements are involved in the novel. Such as the religious education at Lowood School and the missionary activities of St. John, the author explores the relationship between religion and human nature through the description of religious figures and events. On the one hand, religion can bring people spiritual comfort and guidance. For instance, Helen Burns endured the hardships of life through religious belief. On the other hand, the author also criticized the hypocrisy and dogma of some religious figures, such as Mr. Brocklehurst's cruel corporal punishment of students in the name of religion. Social class and oppression. The novel reflects the class differences and oppression phenomena in British society at that time. Jane Eyre, as an orphan, was at the bottom of society and suffered discrimination and oppression from the upper class. Life at Thornfield Hall also made her see the hypocrisy and corruption of the noble class. Through Jane Eyre's experiences, the author conducts a profound criticism of social inequality and class oppression, and calls on people to pay attention to the rights and interests of vulnerable groups. Narrative techniques, asterisk first. Person narrative, asterisk. The novel adopts a first-person narrative style and unfolds the story from the perspective of Jane Eyre. This narrative approach enables readers to directly sense Jane Eyre's inner world and emotional changes, enhancing the authenticity and appeal of the story. Readers seem to have experienced Jane Eyre's growth process together and are more likely to resonate with her. Psychological description, Through rich and delicate psychological descriptions, the author has deeply depicted Jane Eyre's personality and emotions. Jane Eyre's inner struggles when facing various predicaments and challenges, her longing and confusion for love, and her commitment to dignity are all vividly depicted through her inner monologues. These psychological descriptions not only make the characters more vivid, but also enable readers to better understand Jane Eyre's behaviors and choices. Contrast techniques, The novel employs a large number of contrast techniques, such as the personality contrast between Jane Eyre and Helen Burns, the fate contrast between Jane Eyre and Bertha Mason, as well as the living environment contrast between Lowood School and Thornfield Hall, etc. Through these comparisons, the personality traits and fates of different characters are highlighted, and the theme of the novel is further deepened. Jane Eyre has become a classic in the history of world literature with its profound theme, distinct character images, touching plot, and unique narrative techniques. It not only cries out for women's rights to equality and independence, but also offers readers a touching story about love, dignity, and self-growth.